Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again today to bring you another episode of Indie Crunch, the gaming show that sounds like a cereal. And today we're going to be looking at Sword of the Stars, The Pit, which is a roguelike game set in the Sword of the Stars universe. Now I'm not too familiar with Sword of the Stars universe, but I am fairly familiar with roguelikes and how much I suck at them. So I know for a fact that this is going to be a longer than usual episode, as I'm going to take you just through a full run of The Pit. Now this is an interesting game. It had a Kickstarter, well not a Kickstarter, it was on Indiegogo and had a $60,000 goal. It in the end only managed to raise $23,000, but they still made the game with that money. And it turned out to be quite a good game. Not that I don't have my complaints, but I have been really enjoying my time with it so far. And unlike a lot of games that I do Indie Crunch for or make a review of, I've actually found myself playing it more for fun than to gather info. So this is a very, very classic roguelike. Whenever there isn't an enemy on the screen, I actually have free movement. But the second that an enemy appears, that was a bit annoying, I have to start having staggered movement and moving in blocks. Now I find movement during combat isn't really encouraged, as you end up having to sacrifice the shots you take. As you notice, there's also this whole line of sight thing, and I do actually really enjoy that, even though it does get kind of annoying when somebody's standing directly behind you, taking pot shots at you from the back. Although for the first few levels you can pretty easily tell what is attacking you by the number of attacks and the amount of damage it's doing. And it is a game that you really have to learn as you go. So my other complaint about this game is the crafting system is obtuse as hell. So as you can see, I've already leveled up. Things that I've been using take less points to actually level, so 1 point into guns. I thought I would have a point to put into foraging, so I'm going to have to spend 2 points on the rest of these here. Another thing that kind of confuses me, and I know it shouldn't because I play RPGs a lot, is the actual skill system itself. Sometimes they go up by 1, sometimes they go up by 3. And I can never tell exactly what is causing that. So, as you can tell, my guy just said self-defense there. It has a bit of a sense of humor. The tutorial level in particular was actually pretty damn funny. So if you pick up the game, I highly recommend that. The other interesting thing about this game is it is available exclusively through Gamer's Gate. Now, I'm not sure why that is, but it's currently 10% discounted off its $10 price tag, and there is a lot of games. I'm on subfloor 1 right now, and you see this is taking me quite some time, mostly because I'm looting everything to get the maximum advantage here. But there are 30 floors total, which range from, let's check the size of this floor here. They range from about the size of this floor to generally a bit smaller than that, and all take quite a bit of time. I got some rotting bread, moldy bread. It's possible to reconstitute food, so while I'm not carrying too much, I might as well have that. If you go into my inventory here, because I'm being the engineer, I get a lot of repair packs to keep my things healthy. I also get this thing, which shows me the location of all enemies on my map. And every class has its own advantages. I found myself liking the engineer most because he is most capable of opening locks and getting a hold of extra items on his way down to give you some advantages. I also find that the item drops tend to be a bit too skewed in the favor of the game. I've actually made it down to like the 10th, 20th floor with mutation serum, with only a pistol and 66 ammo, and ran out of ammo, and that's where I die because I have nothing else to defend myself. There are also melee weapons, but as the engineer you don't have much in terms of melee strength. Let's search these rot piles here. When I first played through the game, it was a complete mystery to me that you could actually do this, so I ended up dying in the first couple floors over and over again, because you do get some pretty major advantages in the first few floors by searching rot piles. Yeah, so anyways, this is probably going to be a rather long episode of Indie Crunch. Like I said, I'm going to be taking you guys through a whole playthrough and my whole experience so far, and I will probably be doing a more formal review later on. But my impressions so far on the game is it's a lot of fun to play, and it's a good change from something like a Dungeons of Dreadmore, which, to be honest, is the last good roguelike we've had in a long time. And I understand some of you will be like, what about Binding of Isaac? That is a roguelike in a general sense. It is more of a top-down twin-stick shooter with roguelike elements. Nothing against Binding of Isaac, but it is not exactly a roguelike game. No, I've explored this whole floor. I've been unfortunate when it comes to actually searching these rock piles. I kept failing, but that does allow me to go on to the next floor and show you what the game turns into. You're not always just stuck in this one bleak environment. There's actually 3 environments I've discovered so far, and I have not even yet... Oh yes, a strangler, okay. And I found that the enemies are very, very randomized, actually. And as you can see, I'm having a very hard time killing just this one guy. And he's dropped something I've never seen, Martial Trainer. Now what is that? An ancient Taraka cybernetic training device. This headband instantly teaches the wearer melee combat skills. It's not too difficult to program, but a mistake can cause brain damage. Oh, that sounds awesome. Let's use that. I have a 99% chance of equipping it. That's because I have a digital... Well, even without the digital tool, I have 99%, so I might as well not use that. You have tools in your inventory that can help you with just everyday tasks. Melee increased by 15. That is awesome. And as you can see, I have quite a large amount of equips I can put on myself, but you don't really know what they... I never really got more than a couple of them. But I've gotten Mutation Serum, and mutation and weapon mods are a big part of this game. As you can see, there's a mod slot here. Mutation Serum can actually do something good or bad, so I'm just going to chug that down. XP? Experience health drained by 5? I don't actually understand that. But it was clearly a negative and not a positive there. So let's see what else I can find on this floor. I try to avoid using my lockpick sets because generally there are several entrances to a room, and it's more important to use the lockpicks in order to get items and open lockers. I'm getting a lot of really strong enemies really early in this, and you've got to watch out for these guys because they can actually disease you. And disease is not easy to get over in the slightest. I'm out of ammo, so I'm probably going to catch a disease. I'm also wounded, so my health is draining quite quickly here. Let's try to pop a med pack. Med pack has 5 uses. If you use a med pack, it will also get rid of 1 level of disease. So you have to keep that in mind. Level up here, I got 2 points to spend. Just going to spend on whatever I've been using recently. Apparently I used computers. Oh yeah, I programmed the trainer. So I have much more melee than usual, but the engineer, like I said, doesn't have much for physical attacks. So probably still won't end up using melee unless I am truly desperate. Yeah, so there's multiple entrances, so I try not to ever use lockpicks on doors. I would also normally be picking up more of the lootables like these that drop on the ground, but I can't figure out what the hell to do with them because the crafting system is way too obtuse. Enemies can also open the doors, especially the mechanical enemies, I think, can open any door, so it's an option just to wait for a mechanical enemy to come and kill everything. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of the way of this horrible thing right there, because it can kill me fairly easily if it gangs up on me with a bunch of other monsters, which it was in the process of doing. So you can just tab through your weapons rather easily. I did start with 1 grenade, so I'm going to go ahead and aim that. You just aim with the arrow keys if you don't want to just be using the default shoot button. And F to fire. That was a complete miss and unfortunate because that means I'm going to be taking a lot of damage. Oh, I'm still aiming. There's my problem. Now this is actually a rather unlucky run. I keep coming across really, really difficult enemies, and they keep draining tons of my health. Usually you don't have to deal with those guys for like 4 or 5 floors, and mostly you have to deal with those like bats and rats. Let's take a shot at the snake there. Fortunately though, they always drop pistol rounds, and I find myself running low on pistol rounds with the engineer a lot. So let's check my map. Spend a lot of time on the map screen. Now this here is a door trap, and door traps actually have multiple, they do tons and tons of different things. They can blind you, they can actually heal you or repair your items. So I'm going to go through and hope that this is a good door trap. Note that is a blind for 30 turns, which is not ideal. I'm going to try to trap myself in the corner because I know there is an enemy here that I will shoot at random. I think I managed to kill it. Nope. Okay. So let's see. It is somewhere. Yes, I got it. Okay. So that was lucky of me. I might have had to use tons of medkits there. I basically have 30 turns to waste just walking back and forth here. There's a way to skip turns. I think it is the... Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, there we go. It is the X key. So I can just skip turns until I'm done. And this is a recharge station. Apparently it's unrepairable. It's ruined already. And let's see if this room has another entrance, because if it does, I'd rather not go through the trapped door. It unfortunately does not, and I will forget about it. You also memorize traps, so if you go here and mouse over that, it'll say door trap blinds victims. All pretty simple stuff. You can control basically however you want. You can use the mouse to click on buttons. You can also use spacebar for everything. Let's see, that destroys all of your med patches, so that destroys a random item when you enter through it. But there are three lootables in here, so... And the exit. That's kind of a dick move on the game's part. So it's probably worth coming in here anyways, definitely now that the exit's here. So lockpick 100%, I'm going to use the lockpick set for that. And I get rifle parts. I'm not sure how to change those into a rifle, maybe just alone? We'll see. I'm making some weird sounds there. And a bunch of pistol ammo and an auto pistol. Auto pistol is pretty much a straight improvement on the pistol I have now, but it does eat through ammo much faster, but I'm going to equip it anyways. Also add a shortcut to it. You can just do that. See, it adds to shortcut number 1. Lovely. So the auto pistol will be helping me out a great deal here. As you can see, I get 2 shots a turn with it instead of a single shot. And now I have choices to make. I'm probably going to trigger both these traps just for the sake of figuring out what they are for later on. That one is just a straight up damage trap, so I had better heal. Let's get that done. If you're using something other than the engineer, you have a chance of failing to heal yourself with a medkit. There are of course items though that you don't need to have any skill in to use for medical aid, but you always start out with the Terran medkit. So let's see what this does. Trap increases your speed by 200% for 30 rounds. Now that sounds awesome to me. I'm gonna use the lockpick set here, just on the off chance of getting something really good on the first couple floors. Rifle rounds, I don't have a rifle to use that with. Last time I was actually really lucky, I got I got a laser rifle on like the 2nd floor. But because of mismanagement of my health, I ended up dying to some easy enemies later on. As you can tell, I'm almost already level 4. And if you're looking at this and being like, man, this is a really classic roguelike, it's true, it is. It is pretty much exactly, by definition, a roguelike. See, I always try to increase my secondary stat because I find 75 brain is all that you need. To be honest, I still don't really understand what all the stats do. Just going to level up everything that costs only 1. And I've already done that. So I have 2 more points to spend. I'm going to spend that on computers. Just because. I find that if you have the ability to use more items in the environment to use them without breaking them, it tends to be more to your advantage than having combat skills. Okay, I'm going to use my 2 last lockpick sets. There is always a chance of getting a lockpick set as loot out of these lockers. Bone slivers, rifle rounds. Come on. Big money, no whammies. Okay. Digital interpreter. Now that's actually kind of useful because you find a lot of computer terminals in this game. And the computer terminals, this is the 200 speed. Yeah, increases speed. The computer terminals all have encrypted data on them, and you can use the interpreter to help you decrypt that data. Oh, never mind. The trap just destroyed my digital interpreter. So forget everything I was just saying. And you can use that to get items. Now you can actually decrypt all data, but the amount of decryption depends on your decryption skill. So often, if you don't decrypt well enough, everything will be lost. It'll be garbled and you won't be able to tell what's going on, which has so far happened every time I found a recipe. So beta key opens certain doors, I think. Let me check it out. Let's see, this will fit all beta locked doors in the installation. Don't know exactly what beta locked doors mean. Probably something to do with the symbol up top. Fortunately, the other good thing about the auto pistol is it only takes a single round to load, unlike the other pistol which took 2 rounds. And don't be afraid to reload often in this game, because as you can see, it doesn't take away the full clip size from your... How am I going to say this? It doesn't take away the full clip size from your total ammo. Got a couple extra EMP grenades, very useful because robotic enemies tend to be a huge pain in the ass in this game. And the EMP grenades will usually fry them in one hit. And here I get to demonstrate that decryption I was talking about. So, because I have the digital assistant, I have a strong chance of actually retrieving the data on this computer. It should be one encrypted file. And as you can tell, it's all encrypted as hell. If I click on it and click decrypt, I have a 65% chance of success. So I'll probably decrypt about 65% of this. Day plan, death, 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 lunch, mert, death, death. Okay, this is just a funny message, nothing useful there. Nothing useful at all. As you can tell, I didn't properly decrypt it though. So, you know, somewhere in the 2 words I didn't see, there could have been a useful recipe. Probably not though, judging by the rest of that statement. Let's see, haven't been in here yet, might as well explore quick. Ow! Oh man, I'm loving this auto pistol though. Hope I keep finding ammo because this thing is gonna run me dry pretty quick. Oh god. You asshole! As you can see, he diseased me. Disease will actually generally progress and get worse instead of better, although I have seen it do the opposite. So it's best just to use a medkit the second you get diseased. As you can tell, that just vanished. And I'm constantly being attacked in this room. Come on. Leave me alone so I can open my medium weapon locker, maybe. Oh, 2 more enemies. Okay. Are we all good here? Can we continue on? Can we carry on my way? Fuck! Well, I triggered an alarm by opening that. Hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. It does send all security bots in the area after you, but sometimes there are no security bots in a floor, so it doesn't really matter. And I don't think that's a security bot, that was a scavenger bot. Rot pile, that often gives you food. And as you can tell, you have a hunger bar right here, the blue bar. So it's important to forage all rot piles for food. And all kitchens if you can. But generally you need a good computer skill in order to do that because a lot of the food is contained in, what's it called now? Stasis chambers. In order to keep it fresh. 99% chance of success, 95, might as well use the 99% chance. And hopefully my decryption skill will be enough for this message. Wasn't quite enough for that absolutely useless one. 60% chance of success. Dissection, outer, no, might be useful when combined. Okay, so Hiver. So a Hiver part might be useful when combined with... Nope, can't get the recipe off of that. Can't get the recipe. See, this is what I mean by the foraging system being a bit too obtuse. They really need to decrease the amount of decryption skill you need in order to get the messages. Not to mention, I think I'm currently playing as the person with the largest decryption skill. Get an extra locker to try to unlock here. 62% chance is better. I've already used up all my lockpicks, which was probably a bad idea. Now that I think of it, I should save some for weapons lockers. But fortunately, I seem to have picked up a sword there. This is a SAR. Accuracy is quite low. Attack is quite high. Damage is actually very high. So I'm going to add that to a shortcut, and I can use that for short ranged if I absolutely need to. There we go. Now I'm not as completely dependent on the pistol. So that is a good thing. That is no bad thing, you might say. And I have reached the kitchen, and do I know that trap? No, don't know that trap yet. I'll probably trigger it once I know I'm safe in this area. And here I can use some of the special advantages given to me by the engineer here. And you saw me use this item before. Do I have any enemies nearby? Yeah, 1. So I better take care of him before I actually trigger that trap, because you know traps can affect you for 30-ish turns. And that's quite a few turns. Okay. Well, he came to me, thankfully. Nothing in those fridges, though. Sucks a bit. I do have 5 steaks. I'm not sure when I got those, but you can just add those and cook 5 times over. And that will give you 5 cooked steaks. Delicious. I'll probably be needing those rather soon. Let's see. Destroys all of your bindings. So, again, destroys a random item. Destroys random item, yep. Fortunately, it didn't destroy any of my weapons. I have had that happen before, and it screwed me over. So I think that's the entire floor explored, and down to the next one. If I'm lucky, I may make it down to the next visual tier of area. Okay, so I got another strangler here, which I find rather unlucky. Okay, managed to kill him right away. Unfortunately, no crazy drops from him this time, because the martial skill drops was actually very useful. But hopefully more pistol rounds in here? No, just fuel cells. I'm pretty sure those are ammo for laser weapons, but I'm not entirely sure, so don't take my word for it. This game really doesn't explain that much to you, so you have to kind of figure things out, work it out for yourself. Hopefully I'll get a laser rifle in order to use those, but the odds are not in my favor when it comes to that. I spend my 1 turn reloading. Fortunately, they did not infect me with disease while that happened. Locked. You have 3 chances to get through any locked doors before an alarm goes off. I'm going to avoid setting off alarms, but I'll always use 2 of my chances, just in order to try to get some experience by unlocking a door. Oh, I was really expecting him to be dead there. Let's reload that. And as you can tell, there are actually symbols on each room, and that will kind of tell you what is in the room. I don't actually know what this symbol means, but there are like armory symbols, and this could mean great, like, to the next room, like sewer. I'm surprised that there's manholes instead of maybe like stairs in this. Might as well use my digital assistant, try to get myself a bit more chance of opening this. It should level me up. Almost. When I decrypt this, it should level me up. Okay. Might as well use the digital assistant again. And last one. What are my chances? 80% chance. Oh god. Cybernetic research team successful reprogramming the Moria to defend armories, military facilities. What we had to do was convince them that their former masters would return soon and reward them for guarding critical supplies. Oh, so it's your guys' fault, you goddamn assholes. Gonna get 2 more finesse here, and just kind of across the board level up these things that take 1. And decipher. There we go. Got +2 to decipher, that is very useful. I think that depends on how much you've used the skills, what you get for them, and your stat in the skill. Okay, so these guys actually choke you by throwing those things, as well as doing the damage, so you take damage per turn until they're dead, which is why they run away like this. There we go. As you can tell, I'm not choking anymore. The status ailment isn't hanging out there above my health. And they gave me some bread. Now that doesn't sound very awesome, but believe you me, it is really awesome. Some nanomeds, those are one of the medicines that I was talking about that you don't need. You do not need, what's it called? Any skill to use. And you can see there's a cross here that is clearly a med bay, and an anti-venom as well. So I'm going to try to pick the lock to try to just give me a shortcut to explore the rest of the floor here. Have yet to be up here. I could also repair this workbench, but I have no recipes and I have no idea what I can combine to be what. So I'm going to avoid that. And I just went into a fight with my gun unloaded. Like I said, do not be afraid to reload often. It is something that I hoped I had learned fast, but apparently I just didn't know at all. As you can tell, here's the turn counter up here, so if you're wondering how fast 30 turns is going by, you can tell just by looking at that. And here's the passage to the next floor. Oh no, that's the passage up. This is where I started. There's that 1 ammo crate. This is an armory. And just a tiny bit more of the floor to explore before we move on. It's very important in games like this to be patient and explore the entire floor, because rushing through is not going to help you. And as you can tell, it's easy to lose track of something like maybe your food and almost starved to death, so I'd better get eating quick. I'm actually going to eat my rations. The rations are rather good, but might as well use them up eventually. I have 5 steaks. I'm going to eat a steak or 2 as well. I want to save at least 1 so I can make a sandwich with it if I go back to the kitchen, which I probably will do. So let's check out the medical locker. More patches. Excellent, so I shouldn't be running out of health anytime soon if I'm at all smart about it. Destroys random item. I'm carrying lots of random items with me, and I do want to explore every room. I wish I could see more of that. It destroyed my bread, so of course I can no longer make that sandwich I was talking about. Damn, I was excited about that sandwich too. I like sandwiches, I eat them all the time. So just a couple more rooms to cover. Shouldn't take me too long. I think I have actually killed most of the enemies on this floor as well. I don't always try. Has the restart? I can repair the recharge station. So I'm going to do that because I need to recharge my electronic assistant. I don't need that to activate it. 99% chance already, and I can recharge this, and 0 recharges left, so time to go back to the exit. Oh. And I could have cooked right here. It destroys my motion sensor. You dick. And I didn't even need to go in there. I thought that was the exit. You asshole. Okay. Well, still not doing too well. I doubt my chances of victory here are very high. But, you know, I could still get to the area that I was talking about, the next visually distinct tier of area. So I have a 99% chance of opening that. That basically translates into 100 most times. I'm not going to say every time because I've yet to fail it, but I'm sure people have failed 99% chance. I've never seen a 100% chance. Let's put it that way. Do we know this trap? Increases speed. Speed trap, and this one destroys random items. So maybe I want to unlock this door to just get the higher speed. Do it. Okay, not going to try for the 3rd time. There we go. Got plenty of items. I'm running low on ammo though. Maybe I should switch to my other pistol. Because even if it looks like I fire once, this does take 2 shots per 2 shots per turn, no matter what I do. Oh, so many of these guys. And I'm running. Oh, really? Okay, so here is where I probably use the rest of my ammo. I didn't manage to get my speed up, but I do get more rifle parts and Hiver cheese. I'm pretty sure the Hiver cheese is actually safe to eat despite being green. Same can be said about a lot of human cheeses for that matter. Okay. Oh, they have like major security bots in here. So let's see what I can do. This may be my death. This is my death indeed. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Indie Crunch, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.